Okay, off we go.
Okay, let's start with just complete and utter bullshit and fear porning. Georgia Guidestones were taken down as a declaration by the elites, not a win for us. Okay, first short clip.
First, this proves my point.
Proves his point.
These Georgia Guidestones were simply and only a declaration of their intent to actually do Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030. Now that Agenda 21 is in full swing, headed towards Agenda 2030, they don't need these anymore. But here you go. Here's a little...
Okay, so they put up the Georgia Guidestones, I forget when, just to declare their intent. Now that their intent is going, they don't need them anymore, so they demolished them. Oh, fucking lame. Oh, pause here.
Oh, another thing, and I brought up in other videos, all this Agenda 21 and the other one. You remember how they were supposed to be relocating everybody out of all these mountain and dispersed cities, and that's why some Walmarts is closed? Is not happening, will not happen. It's a distraction as this planet toasts. Look at most of Agenda 21. It's not happening. All this is that we're toast, literally toast. We're in the microwave oven.
Okay, let's see what the expert has to say here on the Guidestones.
Second, in the conspiratorial realm, we've got this. We have an explosion, like I mentioned earlier today, at the Georgia Guidestones. Except, that's not an explosion. Do you see how everything is pointed in exactly one direction? Everything is pointed in one direction as though it was knocked over and sheared clean off. Now, for you people that don't know what a lightning strike...
Well, that does not look sheared clean off there.
or a bomb or anything else looks like, it doesn't look like this. If this was an explosion, this would be going...
Okay, lightning strike and an explosion doesn't look like that. Oh, pause. Okay, then let's see what an explosion does look like. There's the Georgia Guidestones. Kaboom! Security camera. And there's allegedly the bad guy, good guy driving away. We're going to play that again. It's only 22 seconds. Let's do that again. And they knocked the rest down because they were damaged. They might fall over and they get sued. And this is Georgia Guidestone, Denver explosion, Fox 59 News. Okay, let's look at some of the latest of what's going around to dry things up and to cut things off to people. What's up with that? France's nuclear shutdown hits 50% of its reactors, squeezing supply, June 2nd. They have a strike in Norway with workers and working for the oil and gas industry, of course, shortening things. Government says it's going to step in to arbitrate, but we'll see how that goes. But of course, other stuff piles up at the same time. Germany fears for gas supply as Russia to shut down Nord Stream pipeline. July 5th, Russia plans to shut down Europe's largest gas pipeline, Nord Stream, for annual maintenance next week, with some Germans fearing the temporary shutdown could become permanent. They claim it's maintenance. They're playing that. Russia, people are so misunderstanding because they're going with the propaganda bullshit that this is going to be World War III. Like I stated, Russia took Ukraine for the grains and the cattle. Countries can't do jack shit because, as I think I'm going to show, Russia exports too much oil and gas and such to other countries. So Putin, they know what the fuck they're doing. Putin has the people by the balls. So anyway, they're claiming they got to shut this down for maintenance. It could be a warning to Europe saying, hey, fuck with us, stay in line or we can shut off your shit forever. Or maybe they're not going to turn it back on. You can go watch Marfugel or Lisa Haven or Richie if you want up to date on that bullshit. July 6th, Russian court orders halt to Caspian oil pipeline, but exports are still flowing. So either they haven't shut it off yet, or it's getting rid of what's left in it. Who knows? But it's what's in the headlines and affecting. Like I said, the oil does not matter in this country because we're not going to need the gas because we're not going to be around enough numbers to need the gas. Okay, this one's claiming that a Russian court said to suspend activity for 30 days. All those sources said the oil was still flowing. It only handles about 1% of the global oil, but still a lot of oil, blah, 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 so forth and so on. This is the biggie as far as our oceans absorbing so much of that heat, CO2 that people like to deny or claim is harmless. People don't get the math. They're fucking brain dead because they listen to their end of the propaganda. We have, with so much dead plankton, dead coral reefs, and especially dead trees because they're second oxygen producers, we no longer have, as I've stated before, we no longer have that air filter to filter that CO2 into that breathable shit called oxygen. Anyway, Dane Wigington uses a number like this a lot. The oceans have heated up to over the heat's worth of 500,000 of the biggest atomic bomb explosions. Now, this is fact, and this is also why we're in such deep trouble. The oceans soak up over 90% of the heat trapped by human-created carbon emissions. They always got to leave out the geoengineering, the chemtrailing, which is number one. But make no fucking mistake, we've jacked this planet up with nuclear bombs and nuclear factories, oil, the fact, and your cows. I mean, you all that. We can throw them in now because now every little bit matters. But we fucked this planet up bad, so quit trying to deny it and fall into that propaganda byline. Now, this is supposed to be this biggest bomb ever exploded by Russia. It's called the Tsar Bomba. In 61, over 59,000 pounds of dynamite. It's equivalent of 50 million tons of dynamite. Now, let me show you something here, how this works out. So you got that Tsar, but the ocean has absorbed roughly the equivalent amount of energy released when you detonate one of them bombs every 10 minutes for 10 years. And the key thing right after that is the oceans are no longer soaking up all the heat. That's why we're also getting hotter, even though it's actually getting hotter. We're getting more sunlight, less rain, less cooler temperatures, and we're just in deep shit. And I hope that's what you're prepping for. And again, Lake Mead is inactive, meaning it's no longer producing electricity and just shy of being Deadpool. Because to produce power, the water level has to be at 1,050 feet, and the water level is at 1,043 and probably below that now. And Deadpool in another at 895 is very, very close, and no longer will water be going downstream.
Oh, I had some other screenshots, but I forgot to put them on my dead phone here, so that'd be it for today.